Hey guys, it's Travis from the Third Gear Speed Shop in video number 3 in the Freddy Smith late model dirt track Camaro. So if you're just joining us, welcome. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. And like I said, this is the third video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the body, and then I'm going to segue into some of the frame modifications and things I've done to the frame. Just to give you guys a little perspective, I'm down here about maybe half an hour every morning, so working at it a little bit just to give you an idea of the progress up to date, and how much time has been put into it off camera. Probably about 30 minutes every day. I like to work on it, work on something every day, just to keep that momentum going and to where the project doesn't get stale and sit on the shelf for too long. Also helps when you're you're letting stuff dry, or you need to stop and think about something, to just work a little bit at a time. At least for me, I just like working in little bits every day instead of like marathon sessions. For me, it just works out better. So all right, so let's get over to the bench and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so this is where we are on the body. I've got the front grill pieces. Let me flip the slide on, maybe you can see it a little better. The front grill pieces are in, and I don't know if you can see right around those inserts. I just used a little bit of sprue goo, which is I just dropped in pieces of plastic, the plastic that just scrap plastic. I just break off pieces of that, and I had a little bit of leftover in this bottle of liquid super thin cement, and it makes like a I'll just show you real quick. It makes a great body filler. So you have to get the proportions right, but if you can see that, it makes a great liquid styrene body filler. So just learned about that from the Grumpy Modeler. Actually, if you're not subbed to him, go sub him. He's building some really cool NASCAR stuff, some Salvino stuff, and I really like his videos, so go check him out. Anyway, I learned that little trick from him. I know a lot of other people use the sprue goo, but this is my first time trying it, and it actually works really good. So that's what's I put around these inserts here. So I got my front grill inserts in, and then I went ahead and took out the front wheel wells. And then, if you'll recall from our previous video, we're going to go back in with a couple of these pieces to finish out our the front nose piece. And if you'll notice right here, I hope you can't notice too much, but I got kind of overzealous with my cut. I actually had to take some thin styrene. I put a piece on the back. It's actually 3 layers, and then I just sanded the top layer away best I could. So you can add material if you need to, like I did. It's kind of a pain, and it takes some time, but it was either that or have this opening a little too big, so I opted to go ahead and fix it. And in the back, I got the back wheel openings done, and a little trick or a tip that I use for that is I just took a piece of sandpaper and wrapped it around a old film canister. You can use a pill box, any sort of round container, and just wrap my, what is this, 100 grit? I don't know. It's pretty rough. Around my canister. And then I've got a nice, I can sand my radius, and I get a perfectly round radius when I do it that way. So I started with this like we did in the first video, got the major opening done with that, and then I came back with this and just got my, fine-tuned it. And before we get into talking about the frame, the last thing I actually did that this morning, is I put in this little piece right here, the kind of flared fender piece. And how I did that was I just took a piece of index card here, and I put it up against I put a piece of index card up against my my opening, and then I traced out that shape, leaving, you can see on the inside I left a little bit. Probably need to go in and sand some of that. But anyway, I just left a little bit on the inside. Got the shape that I wanted out of index card, and then I transferred that over to the sheet plastic, and that's what this piece is right here. And with the plastic, you can sort of roll around in your fingers and bend it and get it into the shape a curved shape. And then what I'll be doing is going in and and using the liquid cement again to weld this piece into the opening. And what I was aiming for is, if you can see this line right here, and we'll see it on the other one, we sort of start at that line and end at that line on the back. So it gives a nice little flared opening there, and probably go back in with some filler. May not need some filler. I might just have to shoot it with some primer and see if it needs filler in the corner or not. But anyway, I need to do this side. And then these lines here will come into play later. I'm just kind of gauging where my body panels are going to go. I'm actually going to cut these apart and put them back together, so we actually have panel lines. When you get a model kit injected molded, they have the panel lines in there, but these don't. So and all these were riveted together in different parts or different pieces, and so there's probably a panel liner about right there too that we'll need to cut. We'll be cutting one here, and another thing I did was I looked at my reference material and got an idea of where this panel line was, and then that told me that this cut was too severe. So I just sort of eyeballed the distance from this panel line forward to the picture that I showed you guys in the last video, just to sort of eyeball my dimensions and proportions and everything, make sure it looks right. So that's where we are with the body, and I will put that aside and talk to you guys about the frame. The frame is from this kit here. It's the AMT NASCAR Chevy Lumina. Came out in the early 90s. These kits are super cheap, readily available, and easy to come by. I grabbed that one at a model car show, but you can find them online easy as well. Just wanted to briefly talk about this little jig I made. I made this for the last Camaro. I've got my center line here marked off. I've got my my wheelbase marked off, so these are my guides to my center line of each rear and front wheel. And then these two marks are really what I sort of base it all on, because I line up my where the motor mounts, and then so that gives me my position of my frame when I'm working with this. And that just helps because now I can put the body on and line up the wheel wells and visualize where the center line of my tires are going to be, and that just gives me an idea of where my frame and body. This is the part of the project where the frame and the body are kind of starting to become dependent upon one another, because there's going to be a lot of scratch building with this. One happy accident though, you probably can't see it, but this bar right here lines up pretty good with the opening we made right here, so we can just come straight up with our crash bar, and that was a convenient happy little accident there. One thing, so I've already cut this piece off. The NASCAR frame comes like that. I got rid of this piece because we're going to be scratch building the rear clip. So scratch building the rear clip, the gas tank, shock mounts, all that good stuff is going to be scratch built. So I just cut it at the top apex of that wheel opening there, the wheel well, and save that. We might need pieces or parts of that for later. And then the rear clip will be made from some sort of stock material such as this. And we'll get into that in another video. I did want to show you this though. So when I line my body up to the frame on this side, you can see that it's a little bit long, and so I'm using the rear wheel opening as sort of where I'm basing my measurement from, and so the frame was just a tick long, and which isn't at the end of the world, but I didn't really like this anyway, because I would have needed to fill that in, because you're going to be able to see that in these NASCAR. If you build the NASCAR kit the way it comes, you don't really see that because the firewall covers it, but this firewall sits further back, so you would be able to see that. Anyway, my solution was just to cut everything that you see red here, just cut that away. And I've done that on this side so you can sort of see the result. I also put a piece of styrene here, and I'm going to probably put another piece of styrene here, because my measurement from this A-pillar, base of this A-pillar to the base of this A-pillar, needs to match this, the width from here to here, because we're going to come straight up and we want to hit the base of that A pillar and then follow the contour of the A pillar. So one more piece of sprue or styrene stock will get us where we need to be there. So next episode I'll have that done, but I just wanted to show you the modified version and then the unmodified version. Again, this is kind of going the extra step. You don't have to do this. It's just something that would have bugged me if I didn't do it. I might actually go in and knock this little piece out of here and just sort of fill that in and make it look a little nicer. But when the body's on now, it's got that nicer look to it, which you'll probably be able to see that even with the tires on it, because that's a pretty big wheel opening. All right, so that's a lot to cover in one episode, but that's where we're at, and I'll just keep plugging away. Oh yeah, I did want to mention real quick, I made some spring mounts. If you can see those, I made those out of styrene, and I sourced some springs out of the 69, I think it's 69 Revell Inco Nova kit. Actually, I had to cut the springs down. I had to shorten them, and I just put a piece of round styrene rod or tube, which the shape of these springs may not be 100% accurate, but again, I'm going off of this jig I made, and so where I wanted to mount my spring, I needed the center of my spring to the rear end's going to sit on top, so I needed that to be right in the center of this line. So using my jig, I was able to do that if I cut the spring back. So if you can see that. So this is kind of where we're going next, and then the rear clip, like I said, is going to be made from scratch, so we'll need to build a spring hanger out back, and then get into the whole rear end component piece of it. So it's a little hard to visualize with nothing here, but it will start to come together, and we'll have a rear end built soon. Probably not by the next video, but we'll get into building the rear clip and sorting all that sooner than later. So that's where we are with the dirt track Camaro. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Please leave a comment down below. There's going to be all manner of videos. There's going to be lots of scratch building, roll cage building. We're going to get into making scratch built headers. We're going to be doing engine detail, painting, weathering. This project's going to have kind of everything. If you like engine detailing, stay tuned. If you like chassis building and roll cage building, stay tuned. If you like weathering, stay tuned, because we're gonna cover it all. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you like to do in terms of projects. If you like detailing engines, or if you like building chassis, painting, whatever. Let me know, and I will make sure that I cover those portions of the build for you. But I'm going to leave it here, and we'll check back in next week and see where we're at. We'll probably have the rear flared fenders done, probably have the most of the body work, aside from the spoiler, the big spoiler and everything, and the hood cut out, will probably be done by the next video. And hopefully I will be able to move into getting some sort of rear clip built and get this this sorted and some sort of rear clip started, at least by the next video. So we'll see. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and catch you next time.